Let's just see it being thrown at the side. Got to catch it before floor.
Ooh, good reaction.
All right.
Ready. Yellow.
Maybe trying to get back to middle. Perfect for defenders, that sort of movement, especially defenders.
Ready. Green. Red. Yellow. Red. So again.
This way, keep away from this leg, so this left leg can go there. So you're effectively doing that, yeah? When you start to sidestep, you get it. Yeah. And then after we've done it forwards, yeah? Yeah. So, so your left foot starts from here, you twist up, your right leg's there, and then there. And then just get some rhythm.
Like this is part. Then as that's going into there, that's going into there.
So we're there.
Once he's going to turn to his left. Yeah, and if I clap twice, he's going to turn to his right. So again, it's listening. Okay, fast feet. Yeah, it's all but then you can do it with running as well. So if you face me, okay, if I point that way, okay, he's going to go the opposite way to which I point. Okay, so this is really good for keeping the minds on. Okay, I'll just move that way a bit.
I'll run it.
So if I point that way, you're going to go that way and run. If I point that way, you're going to go opposite way.
Run where?
Down to another cone there or whatever.
And then run back.
No, just to there. It's like a really short sprint.
Alright.
It's actually best to do it with sound of the way this goes.
I'm going to do it again.
Come back. Okay. So it's amazing now.
New concept of that top edge then. That first edge somewhere on there.
Yeah, so I'm hitting it like sort of low. If I was to hit it bottom edge, it'd be backspin. I'm hitting it here, which is like almost like a straight topspin serve.
Chris, just do a demo of that one.
Move down, that top one, and then.
So all he's doing, it's the exact same shot, exact same stroke, but because he keeps it, he catches it with the front edge of the back for backspin on the same stroke by just waiting a fraction longer before he strikes the ball, he gets topspin.
Basically, it's the same principle, but let me do this. If I was to contact earlier and later in the swing, so I'll try and do that, and then all I've done is bring it together close to the middle. If I was to contact earlier in the swing, but the backspin one there,
It's just later.
but all I've done is bring it from, instead of it being there and there, it's in the middle. You've got the backspin.
And then obviously the push out to recovery is an important part of the receive as well. Need to flick, peak bounce timing on the flick, get the ball at the highest points.
So it's like that. So this finger is pointing up to the sky if we're holding it like that. And my other finger's there, I just sort of hugging the bat so it doesn't fall out of my hand.
So is this different to your normal pendulum serve?
It's slightly further up.
You put your finger further
Slightly
down.
further up, just because on a pendulum grip, you sort of come there and you flick the wrist that way. But with this, you really need that flexibility. So this handle goes past your wrist, so you can really flick it through. And obviously that's an individual technique for me. I find that very easy, but for you guys starting off, I would recommend it. And then these three fingers nice and light on the bat, just making sure it doesn't come out of the hand. You want it nice and controlled. And an easy way of practicing this serve at the start is just by basically trying to make the ball come back to you by almost throwing the bat out this way. So that's how I started just doing the serve. I stood there for hours just literally trying to, that's a short one, then I tried to do that so it's like come back to me. Yeah. So once you can do that, you're halfway to a reverse serve, and then you just put in a little bit more forward action into it to make it go over the net. But that's really important, and you might find that quite difficult, just to actually get that motion where it's actually coming back. So that is a reverse serve, so you're flicking the wrist out, almost as if you're sort of throwing a frisbee on a backhand, but you're going round the ball as well in a forward motion. And then the same principles apply. Ball in the palm of your hand, you're throwing the ball up, you're letting the ball drop. It's really important to let the ball drop, because the more venom on the ball, the less you have to put in with your hand. So sometimes that's why servers will throw the ball high, because you can get more spin. Because if the ball's going high, it drops with a little bit more force than if I just do that. So you can get almost more spin. So I'm throwing the ball up, I'm getting my elbow high, that's a really important part. The elbow comes nice and high, and then you're working around the ball. And if that was a clock face there, you would be hitting it at about 5 again. So it's just a progression of, that's the first part of this serve. Yeah, if you want a bit of top speed, just help it over the net like that, and it's going to curl around. Okay, again, if you're hitting the ball at the bottom of the bat, you're creating chop. If you're hitting it and you're going upwards on that side, you're going to be creating topspin. And then it's just trial and error, and you just sort of work it over the net. So it's there.
So it's the opposite principle to we said before. If you catch this one early in the swing, it'll be backspin. If you catch it later in the swing as the bat's going up, it'll be topspin.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one would the other way around.
The important thing is obviously weight transfer as well. Because of the nature of your bat is going that way, a lot of the energy on the ball's going that way. So try and incorporate a bit of that movement so you can get the ball going into the table and then going over the net. But the key points here are your grip, so you have the flexibility in the wrist. Elbow nice and high, so shoulders almost touching the ear, and then you let the ball drop onto your bat and you're just coming round the ball. See how that sort of came back? But that is a hard serve, so the progression, to start off, I would really advise just to throw the ball and let the ball drop onto your bat and just, sorry, that was the top edge. Just throw the ball out, doing that. So you can see the spins on there, otherwise it wouldn't come back. And then once you can start to get it lower and lower, and then you can develop it into an actual proper action, and that's all individual to your needs then, really. That's what I do. With the topspin, you don't have to go as much out. You can go more forward and round. So topspin reverse is more forward and round. See that? Yeah. So I'm always helping it over more. That's the topspin. But certainly on the reverse, you want to be really cutting underneath the ball, hitting it at the bottom of that. There, see there? So
about an inch and a half above the white line on the table.
That's going a bit of sides as well.
Yeah, it's quite. The reason I put side in it is basically because it's an easier serve to do, because you don't have to get your elbow as high. Because if you're trying to disguise it, like Sally says, it's the most effective way to do a fast serve, so when they don't know it's coming. As soon as you want to try and do it without any side spin, your elbow has to come quite high and you give it away. Whereas what I do here is I keep my elbow quite low, but flick my wrist sort of thing. So I can do that for the same action, but then once I've got them in there, I can really skid it in. But the aim of this is to hit the ball with an awful lot of force into the first sort of 3 inches of your side of the table. If this is happening, where you're trying to send it in quick with a lot of force, but the first bounce is here, one, it might hit the top of the net and go out, but two, it's going to be quite slow serve. Really. So the aim is hitting it this side, here. There. Yeah, trying to get it really, really quick.
Spin first, okay, so he's going to go down, his first contact on the ball, he's going to be the bottom of the ball, get backspin.
Yeah, so a lot of people use this backhand serve, and what we're aiming to do is get a little bit of waist movement as well. So if we're standing square to table, quite difficult to get that sort of transition of the waist. So what I do is I take my left foot back, have my right foot up to the table, so I can get a little bit of momentum through the ball.
I also a bit like rocking a baby, this one.
Yeah.
Using the waist and your arms together.
Oh, that's like...
Can't do it. And then again, ball out the palm of the hand, nice and flat. Throw the ball up at least 6 inches, and again I'm trying to connect with the ball at sort of net height. Okay, so Oh, and what happens as well is you'll find my left leg will come up, and I'll do that. And the reason for that is it just gives you a little bit more momentum. But look, when I finish now, I'm in prime position to play a shot. Whereas if I don't lift that leg up and I play like that, and Chris plays me down the line, I'm facing this way. So I'm not in the right position. So it's like in the forehand serve, you come round like this. On the backhand serve, you come round like that.
So you're kind of striking under and the side of the ball, so it's backspin and side spin together. The more wrist he uses on that, the finer contact he gets, the more spin he'll get. Just do same action and do a float serve. Okay, so left wrist contact in the middle of the back, float, and the ball sticks up. Ask Gavin to do side and top on this. Again, there's different ways of doing this. Some players actually come up with the arm, so they strike upwards on the ball, or we could use that technique that Chris and I spoke about before, the spinning disc, where you just contact later in the swing, instead of contacting the front edge going down, contact.
You're naturally fine with that swing anyway, with the backspin one that you're coming up at the end anyway, so,
so your elbow,
your elbow does come up, it's getting that contact. Yeah.
So topspin 1. Yeah. Sorry.
Gavin, just keep contacting on the edge that's coming upwards. Get the top spin. Okay, banana, hence the name. Okay, so it's good to disguise, it's difficult for you, but that is a lot more obvious to read there when doing this shot. And against heavy backspin, we can just open the face of the back like that to counteract heavy backspin. Look at it. So it's a high elbow again, the same footwork applies, in and out footwork, getting close to the ball.
So I can go any direction with this as well.
Yeah. So that's the one that's difficult to read, just on contact, Gavin change direction.
This is really important to hit the ball in the right place your back as well. The 3 I've missed, I've hit the ball at the bottom of my bat. You've really got to aim to hit it at the top of your bat to get the most amount of sort of speed out of your bat. So I'm trying to hit it there. Hit it at the bottom of it. Yes, can you hear it go? Key here is really get close to the ball. Head really close to the ball. And the reason for that is because, especially with the backspin which has been put on it, you have to really work up the back of the ball. So what I'm doing is I'm keeping my elbow nice and high, got my wrist in a sort of a bent position, and then I'm working up and forward but round as well. So I'm putting that side spin on.
You tend to go more into the backhand than the forehand a bit?
Well, that's the beauty of this shot. You can actually go any way without the opponent really seeing. So if you just serve 3 balls to my forehand, I can go into the backhand, but also the same shot. I can send it to the forehand again.
Really didn't get it just last second, just changing direction now.
So that's gone to the forehand there. Without really changing them. I can do the same action, now come to the forehand now. No, backhand, sorry. Okay, one to the backhand. Yeah. Then I'll do the same to the forehand, the same action. That way.
You tend to take it quite outside the body. I think it's a bit unique, this one, in terms of there's a lot of players that like to play it here or here. It's fairly unique as to the player where they want to take that in front of the body, but the same principles and height, head course and elbow up works for